What's the increased challenge for Steph offensively right now with Jordan and Andrew out, your number 2, number 3 scores?
I mean, obviously, he showed us more of the scoring load, which he did tonight. But he had a great offensive night. Well, when you're missing those two guys, obviously the paint is a little more clawed. It's a little tougher to operate. And saying that, like I said, he found space tonight. Guys did a good job of trying to get him the ball and not forcing it. But, that definitely ramps up a little bit with those guys out.
This was his most accurate shooting night in a while, since sometime last month, I think. How much of that do you think was him just getting himself ready for a team that gives you guys trouble and a guy who gives him trouble?
Who gives him trouble?
Well, the guy, Dylan, the guy who I say gives him trouble, you know what I mean? Guy who thinks guy who likes to defend Steph.
I don't think nobody in the world likes to defend Steph. So I ain't buying that. Stuff. But he got it going. I think you get a couple easy ones there in the first quarter. They're sitting on top. You're able to get a couple layups, see the ball go through the rim. And then from there, he just got it going. They messed up some switches. He got some real clean looks. And you let a guy like that get clean looks, it starts an avalanche. So it's good.
That's a huge team over there. First 3 quarters, they own the glass. Fourth quarter, you guys dominated the glass. What changed?
Well, I think we really met the physicality in the fourth quarter. I think in the first 3 quarters, we didn't meet their physicality on the glass. At times, it seemed like they were just trying to get the ball on the rim to offensive rebound. I think that was their best offense at times in the game. But we knew that coming in. Steven Adams averaged 4.5 offensive rebounds a game. Xavier Tillman's crashing offensive boards. Jaren's crashing offensive boards. The way to combat that is to come up with the rebound and then push it in transition. But in order to do that, you have to box out. And I don't think we were doing a good job of boxing out. I know first 3 quarters, fourth quarter came, we start boxing out. We're able to get out in transition and get some easy buckets. And, that's what started it. And, from there, it's winning time. You got to come up with those rebounds in winning time. I thought Otto Porter was huge. He came up with some big rebounds. Bielisa had a stretch where he came up with some huge rebounds. And then obviously that's what Loon does.
There was a sequence with you and Gary. You were kind of ticked off at Gary about. Can you just take me through that play? I'm trying to figure out what happened.
At that point, Ja's downhill. I probably was a little overly pissed off. In part due to this was a game I wanted to win very bad. It's a team that beat us in play-in game last year, then came and beat us on our floor in the game that we let get away earlier this year. They're coming in here again. Obviously, we got guys down, but it's a mental thing as well when you're playing a team like that plays you tough every game. And so I was a little more riled up this game just because it was a very important game. But I think one rule of thumb on the defensive end is once you can see your guys' numbers, you want to crack back. And he pushed me in the jaw, which I had him stuck underneath the rim. Like, there's nothing you can do there. If I got you stuck under the rim, you're trying to get something around. And I had him right where I wanted him. He's about to go up. And then I was about to jump to block it. And I got pushed into him. And so I was a little upset about that. But like I said, it's more so just understanding the magnitude of this game for this team. And may not be a big game to most. It's also one of those things where, like, missing Wiggs, missing JP, missing Andre, missing D. Lee. We're playing a lot of guys more minutes than they normally play, which kudos to our guys. They stepped up, but I also didn't want to say, hey, man, this is a big game. We need to win this game and add more pressure and put guys in an uncomfortable situation. But the whole game, I'm feeling it. Like, we need to win this game. And so I think a bit of it came from there where, I just understand, like, we really need to win this game. And that was kind of that. But I thought he handled it well. We went to the timeout. We moved past it, and he continued to play great.
You mentioned what a big game you felt this was and being down some guys. You have another big one coming up on Christmas Day. Gary was saying he feels this is kind of a momentum game for you guys going into that. How do you see that matchup?
I think it is for sure. Like you just said, with so many guys down, it's easy to have slippage. And, you know, to get this win, heading out on the road against a really good Phoenix team, Christmas Day, I thought it's definitely a momentum game for us. And, you know, we can carry this on. Our starting group, I'm not sure that group had been on the lineup together. I mean, been on the floor together at all year, you know. And so just to build a little familiarity and most importantly, to know that, like, yeah, we can do it. And there's ways to get it done, and we can. I think that was big.
You guys have played, I think, 9 consecutive Christmas days. And Steve Kerr said before the game, he kind of wishes the NBA would have a rule against playing back-to-back road games on Christmas. How do you feel?
I think that's legit. I have a 7-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 1-year-old. Like, I want to spend some time at home with my kids too. You know, we're not playing against the defending champion. If we're playing against the defending champion, you understand, you know, but we're not. And you know, it's a bit frustrating to have to go on the road second year in a row. So now I miss my daughter's first Christmas, and I'll miss her second one. It's kind of up, but it's the reality. That's what we're faced with. Have a job, you have to go do your job, but we're human beings too. And so, like I said, I missed her first one, and I'll miss the second one. And I can't explain that to her. So it sucks, and that it should be. I mean, just we're not robots, we're not machines. We are actual human beings with actual feelings, with actual families. And so, as I said before, if we're playing against the defending champion, you got to go on the road. That's just what it is. So if we were headed to Milwaukee, it is what it is, but we're not.
Draymond, Gary played 30-plus minutes. It's the most he's played with you guys. And 16 shots. He was like the head of the matchup zone. He was guarding Ja. How hard is that? Like, how much work did he put in tonight, and how impressive was his performance?
I thought his performance was very impressive. Most importantly, I thought he was extremely aggressive on the offensive end. And what he does on the defensive end, you know, at this point, you've grown to expect it. You know, so you know he's going to go out there. He's going to pick up Ja. He's going to try to make it tough on him. He's going to be all over the floor on the defensive end. That's kind of, like I say, you've grown to expect that. But what he did on the offensive end, I thought was key. You know, when you have a matchup like that, where you got to stop the head of the snake, it's tough. It takes a lot of energy, and, you know, take your legs. That he continued to push through, continued to knock big shots down, but most importantly, he took those shots, and I thought that was big. His aggressiveness was key for us, and, you know, he stepped up big time for us.
Let's see. Okay.
Christmas, you played so many times in a row. You mentioned that Houston game from a couple years ago. What is the difference intensity-wise from a Christmas Day game compared to any other regular season game you guys go?
I think the intensity always on a Christmas Day game is higher because it's a big game. Like, you know, everybody at home is watching. Everybody's at home, number one. Like, nothing's open on Christmas Day. Everybody's with their family, sitting at home watching TV. You know, so you know it's the biggest game, one of the biggest regular season games of the year. And because of that, the intensity is going to be ramped up even more, you know, and you got to step up and meet that challenge. And, you know, it'll be a tough challenge going against a good Phoenix team into their building to get a win, but it's the task we're faced with, and I expect us to do that.
All right, let's go to one real quick on Zoom from Malika. Go ahead.
Sorry to keep you one more, Draymond.
Good.
You mentioned fighting slippage right now, but slippage is sort of something that could be seen around the league if guys just say we're missing this many teammates or that many. How do you mentally fight against that when it seems like the whole league right now, that's sort of where they are?
Well, I think the one thing we spoke on all year was our depth, that we had great depth on this team. You know, you see an Otto Porter step in tonight, knock down a couple big shots, but most importantly, 9 rebounds. In a game where we struggled to rebound the basketball, he had 9 rebounds. You know, you got a Bielisa come in and off the bench and, you know, knock down some big shots for us. Juan Toscano-Anderson, I thought, played incredible. His defense was amazing. His energy, he had his print all over that game. And so, you know, I think, like I said, number one is our depth, but also understanding that, you know, you have some very key guys out, and this is your opportunity. And, you know, you want to take advantage of that opportunity. These opportunities don't come around all the time, especially if you're someone who plays behind Wiggins. Wiggins doesn't miss games. And so, obviously, we understand the situation and why he's missing games, but, like, Wiggs will walk out there dead. He's going to play. He doesn't miss. And so, to have this opportunity, you got to really take advantage of that moment. And, you know, we saw Gary take advantage of the moment. We saw Otto step up, Juan come in, step up, Belly step up. I thought Cheese gave us great energy in his minutes. And so, you know, I think it's just about guys really waiting their opportunity and seizing the moment. And when you have the type of depth that we have, now is the time you really have to rely on that. And it's good to win a game like this and know that you can rely on it.